Yo, it's real guys, real talk. Let's go.
Those 2 claps help. Don't tell anyone. Hey guys, welcome back,
guys. Welcome back to another video.
We're doing it. We're doing the tariffs, man.
Doing some
We're
tariffs.
gonna go over it. All them.
Trump is just having a heyday right now.
Going
in the world.
at it.
He's going full on force. China number 2 in Trump's vocabulary.
China's no number 1.
No more number 1 China. But dude, these tariffs are going to help and hurt the world. I mean, and honestly, it's going to help America in the long run.
Long run.
Short term, it's going to
very long run.
Exactly. I was thinking about this yesterday with the tariffs. This is going to help bring back American manufacturing businesses.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's if but
if you make it to that part.
Exactly.
You keep Republican presidency.
Yeah.
For
Thank
the
you.
next 4 years after that.
Thank you.
Because what'll happen is
yes,
this will all get reversed and everything will go back to the way it was.
Yep.
and it never had time to work, and you're always stuck, and you're always stuck, and and then it looks like you fixed something by undoing it because things get back to normal, but we were trying to get away from that.
Yeah.
Well, what's really bad if you go to
you got to spend money to make money.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to, and you really got to let like you were talking about the factory stuff. Like it takes, it's going to take time for the factory to come here to build it, then to start producing and people purchasing at whatever that price is.
If we're lucky, maybe in a year we could actually see some big changes. Already, maybe in a year. Cause
I was telling them 3, but it could be.
It could be. I think right at the rate of these tariffs and the percentages, companies are just going to start, go find old buildings, put stuff over there, instant.
Yeah.
The issue with that is, though, it's not that simple sometimes. I'm not saying I'm not. Like, I mean, I understand the tariffs. I do.
Yeah.
But the issue is like you can't, like move into like all right, so where we live, right? Like they had all that stuff downtown that was abandoned, and it took them 8 years to put breweries,
10
restaurants,
10 years,
all sorts of stuff, and they're just now
and a lot of it was just parking lots to clear area.
Yep. So it's
how hard is that?
One of those things too, where it's
and then to get people to do it, then to go to be interested in going there.
Yeah.
So you got to get people to invest.
That's something we have to think about as well. The companies he's trying to bring back these are not little companies.
Oh,
these
are.
He's
talking about like Johnson, Apple.
Yeah, these are the big players
in
the world, and they left because we charged too much for wage. We did we did a list of things, and everything left.
I'd like to say that what we did is we incentivized countries or businesses to go elsewhere. I want to say that we were too difficult to deal with, but we didn't make it difficult to not deal with us.
Yes.
And so if I know that, I think India was a great example, and I did not know this is the reason why until Trump said it. I knew that they went to India for a while, Harley Davidson, and I was like, that's ridiculous, and everyone was thinking that most of the manufacturing was going there. And I was like, that's the dumbest move. It's an American motorcycle company, one of the few.
Yeah.
And what they did was, making it short, is, India said for you to sell here, which apparently their sales were very good there, you must manufacture here and sell only what you're manufacturing here. You're not going to be able to make a manufacturing a little deal and then import. Nope. You produce it, manufacture it, and sell it here. That's the only way. Or or it's going to be 200%.
Yeah.
And they couldn't keep up with that.
Yeah.
So that, I get that. That's smart, and that's a little too much. But we weren't doing that. We're doing stuff where China's putting up. With Apple, they were putting up these. I can't say that word on here, but they put up nets on the buildings of Apple so that people wouldn't take the easy way out.
Yeah.
So obviously it's not easy.
I remember that,
it doesn't make sense at the time.
America had they were too lenient, and they were too they just let things go to the point of
do what you want.
Do what you want.
We'll
And
just buy. We'll just buy.
the
We
United
don't have to
States-
produce. We'll just buy.
United States lost, and we're losing. Because any country can do what they want, charge what they want, do what they want.
Stuff though, like
Nikes, $10 to make a pair.
Start going.
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, it is.
We
A lot
all
of
work,
that-
so we got to do this in the evening.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff is like you'll see like cell phone manufacturing, especially like once they figure out how to automate the entire thing.
Mhm.
They will.
They will.
Unless we stop that. That's my argument. It's
mean-
like we've got to stop AI from fully taking over our jobs or we won't have them, right?
Yeah.
Like, don't work ourselves out. But, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is going to help the United States much more. Even
If
now,
we can do
look
it
at
for long enough.
fuel is going down, steel is going
like,
down
tax
already.
incentivizes have
Yes.
to be huge for that to happen because it is super expensive to operate in the United States. It's
That's-
not cheap.
It
No, it's
is.
not.
It is. But, I was telling him this. We were talking about how the money, you're lining your own pockets when you're keeping the funds within, right? So now not only am I producing here, my money's staying here. And that was a huge thing. Actually, I think it was directly after World War II, trying to stop another depression occurring, is it was incentivized that you will buy what we're producing here. And anyway, what that does is that keeps money within the family versus this weird, we're an import-only country. And
Yeah, that's insane. And
like,
the
I
main
have-
reason is like, Americans cost too much to pay for wage.
And-
If
yeah,
you are
yeah,
creating the product, selling the product,
yeah,
You know, my
you can
take
put
of
any
that-
wage you want.
I
You can.
can't-
I mean, right now, a minimum wage here is like $7, $9, $10 in some states.
Yeah,
yeah.
but some of that stuff, man, probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, but like most of those jobs are like either entry level or
Sure.
like it's kind of that's what the position is worth. dude.
Yeah,
like
that's-
so like what's his name, Ben Sharpio. I mean, I don't quote him a ton, but like he brought up a really good point. Like well, how come the factory worker or the factory owner makes all this money and I'm only making X amount? And he's like, well, the factory owner is assuming all the risk. Like, the factory goes under, you go get another job, he's left with millions of dollars in debt. You know what I mean? So it's like one of those things too. Like we also need to come back to realistic wages. How do you do that? You got to bring the cost down of everything and still make stuff affordable. But again, like when they raised the minimum wage in California, you know what McDonald's did? Cool. We'll use robots.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yes, exactly. And people don't realize we don't need to pay more in wage.
Yeah.
We just need to lower the cost of everything.
Correct.
That's all we need to do.
They were saying that the housing market, I was talking to my buddy Lee, the housing market was supposed to collapse 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it didn't. It just has done this weird up. And then now it's kind of just like, it's still hyperinflated by, I would say, close to double.
Easily double.
Close to
And
double.
what's really, you saw these, our stock market crashed.
That's
well,
what I
guess
was going to say.
That's realistic numbers.
Yeah.
We're getting down to realism,
It crashed, and we're so volatile. Fox News, which I don't really like quoting much, but they did do a good job of explaining how volatile our market is. There was rumors that he was going to do a 90-day stop on this. Like we're not going to do tariffs for 90 days. Let's just kick back and figure this out.
Yeah.
And the stock market went boom,
$3
and then
trillion.
boom, right back down. As soon as it wasn't
$3
true.
trillion
Everybody
added,
squeezed it.
and all of a sudden it came out. It was fake.
It's fake, and then it went right back down.
2.5 down trillion, just lost, just again,
Just
just
gone.
like that.
It was
So
a huge squeeze play is what it was.
yeah.
Yeah, that is definitely someone purposely manipulating so they could just drop sell real quick.
I mean,
But
I would.
I think
if I had that kind of information,
I could think of someone who probably did. Rhymes with Alosi. So
greatest stock trader in history.
one of the
Greatest.
cool things that I saw and remembered since I was a kid was Thomas Jefferson talked very strongly about not relying on our resources from other countries and alluded to not being an import-only country and how dangerous that was. And he even then saw that was a potential.
Yes.
And I agree. We're there. We've been there.
Yep.
If we can reel this back in,
70s, man.
like you said, for
Yeah. In the
another
early
term.
2000s, it just
Yep.
sped up so fast.
Yep. And then if you can do 8 years, 12 years of a Republican majority, or at least whoever side takes it agrees to continue this, I do think it's a business model that will benefit us and not other people, which is what we're going for.
I just don't understand like people getting mad about us trying to benefit our own country.
Oh no, dude. Yeah, that's well.
They've been on the tit for this long,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
And this is what we were explaining
I'm talking
earlier.
about our own citizens.
Absolutely.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah,
The thing is, they don't understand the difference between retaliatory. What they're saying, it's a retaliatory tax, and now China did just do that, right?
Oh,
But-
we just put a giant one on them, 51% more.
Correct. We're at what, 104 now?
104 on China
What
alone.
did we send to China that we?
But reciprocal
Yeah,
is
anything.
is the word that everyone gets confused. Dude, we're just going to where we're at. Dude, you're charging me 20%? Okay, I charge you 20%. That's reciprocal. No harm, no foul. But then, now you're charging me 20%. Yeah, because you're charging me 20. Well, I'm
Yeah.
going to 50. Okay. Well, now you're retaliatory. So I don't get why you've just been on.
Yeah.
We've just been this weird hand and arm of the world. Our money just is frivolously spent on whatever, for whatever, lining pockets of whomever.
It's the older generation that caused all this.
Absolutely.
I thought that today.
Lack
I was like,
accountability.
yes, 100%. Like the worst part. What are they
right.
called? Boomers.
Yeah,
That's the-
baby boomers
Yes,
right
yes,
after
yes.
World War
Okay,
II.
boomer.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yep. We're the byproduct of the boomers.
This is the realistic thing. They caused all of these issues. Now they're at this age. They don't care.
Of course not.
They don't care at all. It's
they're
like,
on
well,
their
it's not
way.
my problem anymore. Let's move on. And all of these issues are coming down to us,
see a lot
kids,
of it
and
Unless you subscribe to our channel on our boomer,
And then you can
it
find
wasn't your fault
out.
at all.
like they I have a few customers who directly buy from China, and they are just absolutely sweating it because like their main that's what they
Yeah.
buy stuff from them, bring it in house, change boxes, ship it out to the customer. A lot of times too,
Freaky.
like the container comes in, they open the container, make sure the quantity's in there, load it back up, it's gone in an hour.
And so much stuff. This is something that I said already once when I was a kid, but like for real, since I was
For
a
real,
child,
for real.
I saw where everything I played with or looked at or my silverware or whatever
Made in China.
made in China. And I just kept thinking, why can't it be made here? That's a young
it was
thought,
at
but
one point. young lad.
exactly. Like, why can't we do it? First off, I don't know what's in that spoon. There could be lead. Sure, we could have done that too. We're not gonna. How are we gonna trust DuPont? I mean, we've been like, there's all these weird things that America has poisoned itself.
Well, it
but
happened in like such
specifically-
rapid. So like, I am working some BS job, and Anthony is, he went, and bought a iron worker, and now he's making silverware, and he's making a fortune. I'm like, well, I want to do that, but I can't afford to buy, a $20,000 piece of equipment in the '60s. So, I'm gonna go to China. I'll buy it from them for cents on the dollar. I'll bring it over here. And now Anthony's going, now I'm going to buy twice as much from him because I can afford it. And it turned into this trade war where who can get it cheapest and who can sell it cheapest. And that's what's led us down this road.
And what's really bad with the world compared to the U.S.? If you go to China, Japan, India, you don't see American companies there.
No.
You see their own companies there.
Yeah.
They're
They're
ones.
also like companies like that, like they don't have like free market in the sense of like, buy and demand or what is buy and demand?
Supply and demand.
Supply
yeah.
and demand controls the price of things, right?
Yes.
Like the
Yeah,
state,
they're not
the
capitalist.
state
Like-
controls the price of steel and wood and everything else. So that's why,
Or they don't
And it's
have enough
cheap.
users. We're a humongous company. Well, kind of. We're a humongous country.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I mentioned like China or India or even Japan. Like
and have a lot of money to
they
just
have
spend.
billions of citizens, 4 times
Yeah,
as much
yeah.
as we have.
Yeah.
Their products are cheaper. They export to the world.
Yeah.
What they have the companies manufacturing. They have the jobs. They have everything they need.
Yeah.
What is the United States doing with only 340 million citizens around or so? When China has 1.4 billion, and technically we are a larger landmass country in some ways.
Oh yeah.
Like that's crazy to me. Like when you go to China, every car, every vehicle, every business is Chinese owned.
They are.
You can buy it half the price of anything we get here.
No, the problem
like-
is that the only way to compete with China is to spend more money than China and get
Yeah.
manufacturing
Well-
back here to where U.S. steel,
That's
and
what
Mexico
he's.
steel
That's what he's
steps up.
doing.
Yeah.
Where,
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be hard. My question is, can't I kind of see Americans, and I even myself have to make sure I'm not being this. Well, I feel like we're a lot lazier, right?
super
and
lazy.
comfortable. So
Yes.
my question is, can we actually make better things, and will we police behind ourselves and make sure that
If
the
they
quality
get the
control
people
is right?
from the East Coast or the Midwest, maybe. If they go really far, it just doesn't work.
The issue
keep
is,
going west, it
Yeah, it's
doesn't
just
work
like,
out.
The issue is too is a lot of products made in China. They also have all the tooling to make that stuff,
Yes.
right? So like,
Mm-hmm.
you own one factory that does the stamping. Well, I don't have any of the equipment to do the feet for the product, but I can go, hey, I need the feet for the product, so you can
Right.
make those. But you're selling
Yeah.
it to me for half a cent a piece.
Exactly,
I'm
that's-
only paying 5 cents a piece to stamp
Yeah.
them out.
Yeah.
Versus like here, like if I was gonna make something, it's like I did a bid for this not too long ago, like a custom table base, right? It was 3 sticks of like 2x2 by 1/8 tube,
2x2 by 4.
which is
Right.
20 foot sticks, so that's like 60 foot of material,
Mhm.
and she gets the bid. She's like, wow, I can get this on Amazon for like $100. I can't believe you wanted to charge me, $1,800. And I'm like, well, go buy that one. It's going to be a cheap piece of crap, which I mean, it is,
Yeah.
but if it works for the intended purpose, it is what it is.
Oh,
right?
yeah. That's, yeah.
But like I was saying, the only way for us to start competing with that is for us to almost.
Well, what you're I don't want to air anything out that I shouldn't, but your other idea of having something that's quality that's used
Yes.
is it is kind of like look, you're going to pay a lot of money for this, but you're not going to have to get another one.
Correct.
Yeah.
And which is funny because that kind of gets you out of a
Yeah.
customer, but
Yeah.
So, like,
maybe
Hyundai,
that's the game.
Hyundai, the car company,
Yeah. Korean.
they are investing $20 billion in steel in America to be built. That's just one
Yeah.
company. Saudi Arabia investing
Yeah,
$1
Nissan.
trillion.
Yeah.
Nissan
that's
used to have a ton more
crazy, dude.
manufacturing here.
Nissan.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
talking
think
about,
about
like-
Detroit, bro.
I'm talking about
My
Nissan,
gosh.
like forklifts and equipment. I'm not talking
Yeah.
about cars.
So okay.
Oh,
so
wow.
even go further. Yeah. So I think with the tariffs, companies like that will be forced to either open factories here as well, or move their factories from overseas to here.
Well, you're right. And one of the things that I have a huge issue with was the Tundras, right? I'm a big Toyota guy, and the Tundras were bulletproof, the 5.7 engines, whatever. They go to this new, and everyone's
7.5s.
skeptical, to these 6-cylinder vehicles that even have hybrid engines. Anyway, the 22 Tundra, their engines are seizing up and being towed back. And I was wanting to buy one because I was like, dude, it looks nicer. It sounds nicer. Look at, everything should be nicer. They finally did a rendition to this.
yeah.
Or they reamped it. And then what happened is they're doing the manufacturing of the engines in Mexico, and the people in the plant in Mexico were boring out the inside of the engine and left metal shavings in it. So at any given point, it's hitting the sidewalls, whatever, without getting deep into engines. Catastrophic failure. Dude, I don't think Japan would not have done that. They're
Yeah.
very strict with their tolerances and quality control.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of corruption in Mexico, and I'm sure that's part of it, right?
Yeah, like so.
What about here? Are we
that-
going to do the same thing?
You remember Dave?
Yeah.
The builder.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, so like he was telling me that like a lot of
Really cool.
manufacturing in Mexico, like they have a huge problem with quality.
Yes.
Quality control down
Yes.
there. So they have to pay people for this company he knows about to go down there and live in Mexico and basically this guarded house like right next to the facility just to monitor quality to keep that
Wow.
from happening. And it could be
Yeah,
something
they have a
actually
lot of
stupid as-
issues with
They're-
their government corruption
Oh,
and
they're due.
cartels coming in and wanting a
Taking
piece of the
whatever they
pie.
want.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly what it
insane.
is.
I think.
I don't think it's a work ethic.
That's
thing.
like my favorite story ever. I don't know if I told you guys this or not, but this lady was on a cruise, and I can't remember what port she got off at, but like they were like, hey, like, you know, just stay, you know, in the city limits, don't like stray too far. And they were like, don't tell me what to do. I'm on vacation and I have a passport. I'll go wherever I want. So she gets mugged. And they're like sitting at a bar, and you know, the police are there. They're like, I mean, what does the guy look like? You know, it's like a bullshit report. They're not gonna find this dude. And this other guy that's sitting at the bar overhears this, and he comes up and he's like, hey, what did this guy look like? You know, what did he take? What color was your purse? This and that. And she's like, oh, you know, she's like having a picture of her purse because she like just got it, I guess, for the trip.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, so what's your number? In case I find it, you know, I'll call you. Within like an hour or 2 hours, the purse was back. All of the contents were in there, and there was extra money in the purse. Because all those dudes extort all those businesses from the tourist towns, and they don't want you messing with that because it's just they print
That's
money.
how they get their money.
They just print money. So
Yeah.
it's like that like
'Cause that's a bad, especially imagine if it was a journalist.
that's like a Deadpool type villain, good guy type deal, you know?
Yeah.
That's yes, it is.
Dude, I will tell you that story
I want that one.
another time, but there was a time in Ukraine where I got my stuff stolen, and
You also
it's
got mugged, like,
by the cops.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, it's like the only time I've pretty much been in jail without
Technically
doing it
got
on my own
robbed.
term.
You
Yeah,
got
the
robbed,
cops
dude.
robbed me.
did.
That's a long story.
That is.
I'll drop those one day.
Yeah.
They'll
One
make
day.
sense to drop them.
I was gonna actually
Yep.
talk about that. The last video before that, maybe the other video.
One of them,
We're
yeah.
talking about something to do with that, and I was like, and then we started talking about something else.
Yeah, it's so easy. Like those are good stories, and I only have a few of them, so I'll save them.
Yeah.
But there'll be other
You
times
already
where it
told
makes
the
sense.
one about like getting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought I was getting
Yeah.
abducted.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
a
was
good one. If you guys
crazy.
haven't watched that, that's a really good
Go
one.
back to our
I don't even
videos,
know which
wasn't
one
it?
that was, but
that
I thought for sure I was
that
going
had
to
to have
be
been one of the
tortured. I
Ukrainian
wasn't.
episodes.
It had to be. Yes. I forgot which one. We've done a few.
It may have been the
now.
Lavrov. I don't know.
Basically,
Maybe.
Robbie got kidnapped by the Russian government as a
I did.
prank.
You got
I
to
did-
watch the video.
Yeah, they were terminal transferring me,
Yeah.
and they put me in cold room, and I was in the military at the time, so it got weird. But they were literally just transferring me, and you had to go out of the airport.
They were messing with him on purpose because they knew he
And
was scared.
then they brought me back to the airport because
Yeah.
they were being courteous, but doing it in a really jerkish way. And I was sweat bullets. But yeah, I think the tariff thing, the problem is this is going to hurt our social score, if you will, internationally, but just momentarily. And I think we're just such a country, and maybe just the world now, where we want instant gratification. Right now, I could put something online and have it sold tomorrow. Or I could have Amazon deliver it to me today or the next day.
Yep.
Or, hey, I don't get a call back. I should get a call back from whatever, this business. And we're just so used to instant gratification. Hey, I want to know a little bit more about the tariffs. Let me chat GB, whatever. It's simple.
Yeah.
So we've got to sit down and go, look, are we going to continue to feed other nations? Or are we going to feed ourselves and then see what happens? And once we feel like home base is taken care of, regardless of the outcome, now we can start going, hey, guys, you still want to play baseball?
Yeah.
Because we still want to play baseball, but we had to take care of ourselves first.
I think, to wrap it up, we're getting close. I think a lot of the world has done more damage to themselves than what we're doing with tariffs. And we cannot be part of a lot of these countries in the world with this crazy trade thing. I mean, they're hurting us
and all of it.
and they're hurting themselves.
Yeah.